Sports presents
Gee, Sizzle, what's going on, my friend? How you been, buddy?
What's going on, sir? You know what it is. It is about to be the hotness. We're about to talk about one of the hottest teams in the NBA, and we're about to get it in. And I still got house music on my mind. You wanna be okay? So I'm getting ready.
Your love is true.
Yeah, working.
Yeah.
Boy, you just don't know. I'm getting ready to do some things. You ready to drop this?
Hit it.
Let's get ready for the drop.
You're listening to The Sizzle, the talk of the 219, the hottest sports talk in the region, on Iron Skillet Radio and Iron Skillet Television.
You tell them, girl.
Go ahead, girl. You know what it is. You know who it is. It's The Sizzle here on Iron Skillet Radio, Iron Skillet Television, and we are getting ready to do the thing. We're getting ready to talk about some things, talk about some other things with some other things. But before we can do any of those things, Jay, how you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling fabulous today, man. Absolutely fabulous. Had a wonderful day. It tried to snow, and it didn't. And I'm going to tell you something. You know, the older I get, the more when it snows, the more I have to watch every step. You know what I'm saying? Because at any point in time, a piece of ice could be a mad disaster. It could be 9-1-1-1-1. You know what I'm saying? And me in my old man shoes, because I have a tendency to put my old man shoes on, they got the grippers that's made for Walmart. They're not made for snow. You know what I'm saying?
They don't have the non-slip, the stay where you are grip.
No, they don't have the little knobs on. They got like the waffle bottoms. But you know, like you ever see the old man shoes that have the Velcro on the top of them? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. They got the little crisscross weave, the waffle bottoms. And they're made to slide across the floor in your home.
Every floor. There's not a floor that those shoes have grip on. And for some odd reason, those type of soles have showed up in my closet. Every time I pull out a pair of shoes now, I got the small waffle bottoms. You know, I'm going to lay out on the floor. That's going to be something terrible.
Well, before you do all that, before you get your steps in, let's talk about the Texas two-step. Let's talk about what's happened over the past few games for the Chicago Bulls. It's still early. I know it's really early.
Yeah.
But is it too early to say that the Bulls' defense and their offense is rounding out to be NBA quality defense and offense? Are they becoming a good team?
Definitely not their defense.
I don't know.
Definitely not their defense, but their offense is coming around. Mm-hmm. Zach LaVine is 2.5 seasons, 3 seasons from that ACL tear, how he came to Chicago. And I don't know what they've been feeding Zach LaVine this year, but he is now a manimal. This guy has been ridiculous lately. I thought it was an aberration, and I'm about to put some egg on my face here in a little while because I said this team wasn't going to make it together, but Zach LaVine is killing it right now.
Well, Zach LaVine, last game against the Houston Rockets, he went for 33 points, 11 for 16 shooting with 7 assists. I mean, it was a master performance by him, where 14 of that 33 came in the third quarter. But when it came down to crunch time, he was making better decisions. He was reading the offense, reading the defense. He was reading to see where he could set people up, get people shots where they like the shots, letting his teammates help him through the whole process and letting him be safe and letting him be whole and letting him be refreshed for the fourth quarter. So, Jay, now, let's look at it. Zach LaVine has 7 30-point games this season.
Craziness.
Only behind Damian Lillard's 8.
Yeah.
Only behind Dame Dollars. And then Sunday, he notched his first double-double.
Mm-hmm.
10 points, 10 rebounds.
Yeah.
But it was in a resounding win, a textbook win a fundamentally sound win. So right now, Jay, what are we saying about the Bulls? Where is their trajectory right now? Because they look like a 500 club right now, where we thought maybe they were going to be in the low 20s at the beginning of the season.
The thing is, right now you got Zach LaVine. He's a number 5 scorer in the NBA right now. Number 5. He's right behind Curry, right behind Bradley Beal. I mean, this guy is number 5 right now. He is balling out of his mind. And now we see a Lauri Markkanen show up. The Lauri Markkanen who we thought Lauri Markkanen is. All of a sudden now this guy is lining up and hitting big-time shots when they need him. You see Kobe White.
Giving you double-doubles.
Yeah. You see Kobe White. He's been struggling a little bit, but we figured that was going to start happening once you have Lauri Markkanen on the floor, taking away some of those shots, some of those long ball shots from Kobe White. He's going to have to adjust to that. But I'm telling you, the Bulls right now are playing extremely well. Now, we had an inkling that this was going to happen when they played the Lakers as well as they did. And they went up against LeBron and them, even though they were AD less. But they had a strong showing against a very, very good team. A team in the West who could possibly win the championship without AD. I mean, that team is good enough. The Lakers are good enough without AD to win the championship. The Bulls look good. Now, Zach LaVine has been able to sustain this over this short period of time. But are we starting to see the emergence of a superstar? Is it possible? Can he keep up this pace? And we're going to find out. Because right now, as they start playing more games, teams are going to start keying in on Zach LaVine. He's going to start getting double teams. They're going to start making him be the facilitator. And can he up his assist package so that other people on his team are starting to get more touches and score more? Because that's what's going to have to happen if the Bulls are going to be a team that's going to try to claw their way into this shortened NBA playoff.
Well, yeah, you're looking at right now, you're looking at a season where you're about, 8 games off of where your normal pace would be. So that 40-40 mark. But if you can get now somewhere in the upper 20s, close to the 30s, you're going to be a playoff team. But let me give you something. Let me give you this. This time, since the Houston game, all right, that Houston game marked the 4th time this season that the Bulls have placed 7 different scores in double figures, all right? And it's the first time they've gone over 115 in points since 2013 that they've had so many points. They're averaging points. And it's just the second time in franchise history that 5 players have sank 3 or more three-pointers. It is the evolution of this is amazing.
It's an offensive barrage,
Yeah, if they can get that 29th ranked turnover rate down, they can work on those turnovers, which they did limit against Houston. They had more against Houston than they did against the Mavs, but not like what they did against OKC.
But what
we were watching that game, and that was just, it was horrific.
But what we're seeing now is a progression now that we never saw with Jim Boylan. He said the team was getting better, but we didn't see it happening on the floor. We're actually seeing the Bulls get better. Day in and day out, they look like a better ball club. You see in the emergent. I'm going to tell you what the real emergent has been for the Bulls, and that's that second team. The old schoolers, the old school, Garrett Temple is playing extremely well.
Amazing.
For the Bulls. Extremely well for the Bulls. I think he's shooting something like almost 50% from the field. Almost 50% from the field. You're talking a guy who has 11 or 12 years into the league, and he's playing relatively heavy minutes coming in off the bench. The Bulls, when they have Thaddeus Young coming off the bench now, you look at this team, Otto Porter, you start looking at this second unit. This second unit is starting to outscore other teams' second units now, which is really giving the Bulls a big push if Lauri Markkanen can stay healthy, if Kobe White can still continue to develop. And if Zach LaVine can keep this upward mobility, you might be looking at a team who is potent with their starters and are more potent with their veteran backups. Because now you're starting to see a lot around crunch time. You're starting to see Otto Porter on the floor. You're starting to see Thad Young on the floor. You're starting to see Garrett Temple on the floor. Two out of the three guys during crunch time are out on the floor leading this ball club because they're going to make the right plays. So we're starting to see some veteran leadership. Where early in the season I said we didn't have leaders on this team. We're actually starting to see Zach LaVine, who has decided to go into the film room and start to be what he's supposed to be. I think a lot of this has to do with Billy Donovan teaching these young guys how to be pros. And I think that's really what's happening because you start to see these guys making good decisions. Well, beforehand, earlier in the season, when they didn't have the practice time in, you saw them look awful. I mean, you saw them getting smoked by 40 when they never should get smoked by 40. You saw them lose 20-point leads. Right now, the Bulls are not in those positions anymore, or they're able to come back and make good decisions. So we might be looking at a team, I'll bet it's still a little early, but we might looking at a team that might be able to claw its way up by midway during the season, and they might sneak into that 8th or 7th seed. Not that they're going to be enough to take on the Milwaukee Bucks. Not they're going to be enough to take on the Nets or anybody else above them like that. But you might see something, a core that might be developing that the Bulls might have a chance to actually compete in the East in a couple of years. No time soon because the East is just loaded right now.
Since you just mentioned Milwaukee and you mentioned the Nets. Now, the other night, the Nets went into Milwaukee and put the slap down. It was all James Harden. It was all Kevin Durant. And that's minus Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
Now, Kyrie Irving said he's coming back. He needed some break. He needed some time off. I think we all do. Sometimes we need mental health days. We need some time away. But what is getting ready to happen in the East? You're getting ready to see that shift from where the stalwarts were in the West. Now you have this Eastern block that's being built.
All the guys went over there. You had Kevin Durant go over there out of the West. You have now James Harden come over there out of the West. So all of a sudden you saw the West superstars move from over there and go into the East because it's an easier path to get to the championship in the East. You only got one team to go through, and that's the Milwaukee Bucks. You got one team to go through right now. It has, Do
you even believe that the Bucks are really that team to go through?
Well, look, Giannis is still a force to be reckoned with. Still a force to be reckoned with. And that's a good ball club up there. The problem is, can Giannis do it, quote unquote, by himself? That's the biggest problem that we have up there. And have the Bucks really improved? You look at the Nets. The Nets, I mean, good Lord, have mercy. If Kyrie comes back and they can figure out how to share this basketball, because James Harden is a unstoppable force when he wants to. When James Harden gets out on the perimeter and he passed that ball between his legs about 8 times, he's a bucket. It's about to be a bucket. You know what I'm saying? You might as well just put 2 up on there. They can just stop, let him dribble, and then throw the ball to the ref because that's 2 points. And so,
well, okay. My question would be then, what will Milwaukee do? Because unless Giannis makes a great improvement, and I mean that means he has to get in and start hitting threes at around a 35 to 38% clip.
Yeah, he's got to shoot back.
And expand his perimeter game. What is it that Milwaukee can do now that you have a Nets team here that looks like, I'm not saying they will, but it looks like the Nets could go in and not only beat Milwaukee, it looks like they might be able to sweep them.
Milwaukee's bench has to come alive for them. They got to give some help. Right now, you see that first team playing really well, but that bench does not hold up their end. And you see Giannis having to come back and push on the back end. Also, you start to see Giannis having to defend the best big man out there. He's going to have to go up against the LeBrons. He's going to have to go up against the KDs. He's going to have to do that, and that's going to tire him out for his offensive side because Giannis is a high output basketball player. He's not a guy who eases up and down the floor. he trudges up and down the floor. It looks like he's got carrying a battle axe with him in the battle. He's not James Harden, who eases down the floor and eases into shots, eases into layups. Very seldom do you see James Harden with a sweat going. He's just easing up and down the floor, getting it when he wants to get it. Giannis has to be coming full bore all the time, and he looks like he's getting ready to raid a village every time he's coming in there. So I don't know. The same thing with Westbrook. I don't know with that type of energy, that mad basketball playing energy, can you sustain that type of fury every night? Because Giannis plays angry.
He does.
Westbrook plays angry. Right. And I think sometimes, as we know, sometimes the wild Wakandan sometimes does not help you like he needs to help you. Sometimes you need him every once in a while, but it's hard to sustain that angry all the time. So that fluidity in his game, this is the reason why you see a Kevin Durant's game. And I know we weren't going to talk much about this anyway, but I'm going to have two eggs on my face because I thought Kevin Durant was just going to be out there shooting jump shots, and Kevin Durant is moving fabulously right now. I mean, up and down the court, playing defense, taking people off the dribble. He looks like Kevin Durant of old. And if Kevin Durant could keep this type of play going, how are you going to beat? How are you going to beat that Nets team like that?
I don't think you can beat them. But here's the question: we just talked about the wild Wakandan and keeping that inner Wakandan locked up for Giannis. It seems like he's going to burn out as he keeps going and progressing if he doesn't add another skill set to his repertoire. But the question now is, with John Wall, since we're talking about injuries and we're talking about people who were out a whole season, had a chance to rehab, coming back part 2, I don't see where John Wall is getting stronger. Actually, I see where John Wall is now accruing injuries. Now there's foot injuries. Now they're back injuries. And the same thing now with Russell Westbrook.
But we knew it.
They're accruing these injuries. And so how do you get these players how do you get them through a whole season without them having this myriad of injuries?
But we knew that was going to be the problem going in. And that's the reason why he had such a heavy price for his trade. So many other players had to come with him because that should have been a 1-for-1 trade. It should have been, because he's that talented. But he can't stay on the floor. And since he can't stay on the floor, you got to give me other assets that can stay on the floor. And now we see, as we thought, we're only, 8, 9 games, 10 games into the season, something like that, 12, whatever it is right now. And he's already talking, the injury bug has already hit him. So, and I think it's going to go on and continuous, because these 72 games, this is going to go by in a hurry. There's no taking too many games off right now. There's no resting too many people. You got to get out here and play, because this seeding is going to be super important in the West and in the East, because you don't want to get a hold of one of these teams. You want to have that 1 or 2 seed. You definitely don't want to have that 3 seed, and you got to start dealing with these teams, number 5 and number 4 down the line. You don't want to start dealing with those teams, because those teams can beat you.
Yeah. And you know what's so amazing about this whole thing is the math starts telling the story. You can't afford to get 10 games down. And I think the Bulls are doing an excellent job of trying to fight their way back to 500, because ultimately I think that math is going to determine who's going to sit in that 8th, 7th, 6th seed. And I mean,
all these games count. All these games count.
If I'm the 8th seed, do I want to go up against Milwaukee?
No, you don't. No, you
Nets?
don't. No, you don't want to go up. And so you got to play yourself in to 6 or 5 so that you're not catching those guys early. Hopefully, you're going to catch those guys after they come out of a tough series, or, God forbid, somebody gets gimped up a little bit or something like that. Now you catch them weakened. That's where you want to try to catch those number 1 or number 2 teams to beat them up top. You don't want to be 7th or 8th seed in any one of either East or the West, because you're probably going to get swept. That's what's probably going to happen.
We didn't talk about this before in depth when the trade first happened with the Nets. But the Nets gave a lot of currency away.
They did.
They got rid of a lot of people. So, does this Nets team, can they weather this storm, Jay, all the way to the end of the regular season and then make hay in the postseason?
The problem with the Nets right now is just what you just said. Can they stay healthy and make hay? If you have Harden, if you have Kyrie Irving, if you have KD playing at a high level day in and day out, that is a tough ball club to beat, bar none. I don't care who you roll out there. You roll the Lakers out there, whatever three-headed monster you want to roll up against the Nets, I'll match Irving, Harden, and Durant against any three you want to throw out there because they are absolute dangerous. The problem right now is, can they stay healthy? We're looking at Durant playing well. Is he going to have to start managing his minutes? Because these are older guys too. You're looking at a Harden. We see Harden every year plays like gangbusters, and he starts burning out toward the end of the season. And by the time the playoffs hit, he's a shell of himself. We don't know what Kyrie's going to do. We have no idea. We just don't know what Kyrie's going to do. We don't know if he's going to go and take some a few more days off. We don't know when he comes back in. Is his body going to be ready to go? Because we have seen the injury bug bite him a few times. And lo and behold, if the bug hits one or two of those guys, it's over for the Nets. Yeah. So we have to.
It's feast or famine with them.
Yeah. So it's it all depends. The question is right now with Kyrie Irving, why is he not there?
Yeah. Yeah.
And is that going to be a situation that's going to continue to plague the Nets? Because
does he have any value moving? Could you move a Kyrie Irving at this point?
Not what.
Let's say worst case scenario. Could you move him?
Here's the problem. All right. He's missed 7 games total, 5 for personal reasons, right? 2 for conditioning. Let me read the rest of this. He lost nearly over $800,000 in salary while in quarantine for 2 games. What else am I reading? The NBA also fined him $50,000 for violating the league's health and safety protocols. So what I'm saying is because he attended a family's birthday party. Is basketball the number one priority for Kyrie Irving right now?
Right.
Because what happens, and I understand this, when you first get into the league, you're making that money. You have to support your family. Nothing matters more than basketball. I mean, you got to go out here and ball out because you got to pay car notes. Grandmama got to you need a new wheelchair. You got everybody, you're paying 70 cell phone bills. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants something. But once you get in superstar level where you have your own shoe and you got money coming in, all of a sudden now, those expenditures that you had to worry about, you don't have to worry about them anymore. That $1 million you're paying out to keep everybody, in housing and keep everybody, their car lease, the 10 cars you got leased, and, the people's cell phone bills and playing little Susie going to private school. It costs you $1 million, $1.5 million a year to keep all that going, maybe. And now, but you got millions coming in off your endorsement deal. You got millions coming in every year on your contract. That $1 million now is not that big of a deal anymore. And so it's like, I got enough money. I can keep functioning now for the next 20 years like this. So I can miss $800,000 and it ain't that big of a deal. Well, before, if you told him in his rookie year he was going to miss $800,000, he was been like, oh no, I don't care what happens. I'm going to go play basketball. So that's the problem right now. Does the game mean enough for him? Chasing the championship doesn't mean enough for him to sacrifice family to go win, because that's what it takes to win these championships. That's what it takes. I mean, you got to have a family grouping of people together that are going to support you while you're going out and do what you need to do to support them. That's why it's important that these wives and girlfriends and sisters and mamas and everybody else is taking care of all that noise up underneath you. There's no reason, and I don't know what the whole Kyrie situation is, so don't get me wrong, I don't know. But somebody has to be the buffer for that stuff going on so that he can go and do his job. And so we're wondering if he doesn't have that buffer in place right now. I don't know.
Interesting. It's really interesting, but I know who does have some desire, and that is my man, Zach LaVine. That is my man, Otto Porter. That is my man, Garrett Temple. But not so much Patrick Williams. So, Jay, I'm going to give you the floor because I know you have a rookie report on Patrick Williams. Patrick Williams is a little gipped up right now. A little hurt. Just his hip is hurting. He's a little, he's not feeling well. I know you haven't seen a play yet to wow you out of your seat.
No.
But have you come around to the thinking that Patrick Williams deserves to be in the starting lineup?
No, I have not. No.
I just gave you the quick layup, and that was all. I just threw it out there for you.
No.
Because I knew what you were going to say. I knew what this was going to come to.
No.
It's going to come to you and Patrick Williams bashing.
Okay, look.
You can't just do this to the rookie.
Every game we hear the same thing, right? The rookie looks good. I like the way he's run up the 19-year-old. He looks good. Oh, look at that jumper. Oh, he looks good, the 19-year-old. I've yet to hear them say Patrick Williams is taking over this ball game. Haven't yet heard that yet. Patrick Williams wants to ball in the post. Patrick Williams, oh my God, get a ball to Patrick Williams. Give it to him and clear out the lane. Let him take him one-on-one. We ain't heard none of that. None of it. All right? None of it. And right now, I think the Bulls are going to probably play better without Patrick Williams. Because
why are you so disrespectful?
Because he's not that guy. He's just not the fourth. He's not the fourth overall pick.
What is he then?
He's not the fourth overall pick. That guy's got to be dynamic for you. He's got to be. Do you think Patrick Williams right now is going to lead this ball club at any point? 10 years from now, is he going to be the leader of this ball club?
In 10 years, probably when Zach is retired, probably, yeah.
No,
he might.
No, because
I still don't believe Wendell Carter's going to lead you anywhere.
But Wendell Carter's starting to play a little bit better as soon as he learns how to step up in the paint and cut off those drives and stop dropping back to the rim. I still don't know why he's still doing that.
You know what? I don't know. I don't know if that's all on now that I'll stand up for Wendell. I don't know if that's all on him. I think that's designed by how they're designing this defense that he falls back. But yeah, it's not working. It's not working.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at a guy, man, who's just he started the previous 13 games to this point, right? He's averaging 10 points, 3.8 rebounds. A little bit over 1 assist in 26 minutes. Is that fourth pick numbers? Is that fourth pick numbers? 10 points.
Buddy.
It's 10 points, 1 assist. 1.1 assists. I'm sorry. Is that fourth pick numbers?
Why are you doing this?
It's not fourth pick numbers.
You're just evil for no reason this evening.
This is
hyperbole.
It's just not fourth
okay.
pick numbers.
All right. How do you get this number with Zach standing in your way? And then you got Kobe.
Hold it.
See ball, shoot ball.
Hold it. You got to go get your points. Do we not see Kobe White channel his inner Stephen Curry and just let it fly from the arc whenever he feels like it? Whenever he feels like it.
That Stephen Curry he channels?
Yeah, he just channels it because he lets it fly. He lets it fly. It looks like he's shooting a Scud missile out there. He's just launching. All right? Patrick Williams has to get to his spot, but he doesn't get to his spot often enough. He needs to be a more volume shooter. What is he shooting? Let me look at this. He's right now, he's played 7. He's 14 and 28 from the 3-point range. That means he's only taken 28. He's only taken 28 jumpers since the beginning of the season from 3-point range. Kobe White takes 28 jumpers in a game from the 3-point range.
So does Wendell Carter now.
What? They all let it fly. So Zach LaVine is averaging 9 3-pointers a game, attempts a game. He is just letting it fly. What's our guy doing? You can't be passive, and you're the number 4 pick. You just can't be passive. You can't be passive. At some point in time, you just can't be passive.
I just thought about that. He was a higher pick than Zach LaVine.
For all y'all, go back and look. We talked about this 5, 6, 7 shows ago about the number 4 picks. If you go back, we talked about that. What your number 4 picks are, your Chris Bosh's of the world. Okay, all those. Your number 4 pick got to come and bring the pain. We're seeing nice kid, but he's being a pain in the butt right now because he's not being aggressive enough. Has he yet a Sports Center highlight, a Bulls Center highlight? Have we yet seen when the guys are sitting there with their red gym shoes on after the game and they're sitting there talking and they're yakking it up? And have we seen yet to go, man, did you see Patrick Williams take him off the bounce? Did you see him raining those three-pointers in a row? Did you see him do? No. They just say, the 19-year-old, he's learning. He's solid. He runs the floor. He can defend all 5 positions on the floor. Okay. Hey, look, I think the kid's a nice kid. I think he is. I think he's a great nice kid. Should they have moved up to get Patrick Williams? Because everybody else is playing great. I mean, we have, who's that, Tyrese Halliburton? Is that Tyrese Halliburton?
I'm going to say this. That's the only player that I think from this draft that I thought would have been a good fit for the Bulls.
Can we
automatic start?
Can we move up, maybe pack a shop and go get LaMelo?
No.
I mean, was there any, which I don't think, Charlotte wasn't going to give him up, but could we try? Could we have tried?
I don't even know what the Bulls have to offer anymore. I mean, we're talking about trades. Now we're not even talking about Otto being traded anymore.
Well, no, you can't now.
You see Cleveland and you're like, I should get Andre Drummond.
I take that back. Actually, they are playing well enough right now that they are tradable. So it all depends. You talk about Temple, you talk about Otto Porter, you talk about Thaddeus Young. Right now, they are playing well enough that a team can say if they're going to make a big push later on, they need some veteran talent to come in off the bench to shore up their bench, which is not as good as the Bulls. You might want these guys to look good, and you might give up some of your future for an opportunity if you thought you had a chance to win right now. But
I don't know what you would really give up for these players. Satoransky, Young, Garrett Temple, I don't think you would move, but those players now, Porter, Satoransky, Temple, I don't know what you would. Now, some of those other players, some of those bigs they've got, you could ship them out all day, every day.
Yeah.
Except Daniel Gafford. I like Gafford.
No, I like Daniel Gafford. That's good. But, so the thing is right now, getting back to the Patrick Williams pick, he's not even in the conversation right now of top Bulls players. He's not even in the conversation. He's not even in conversation. You start talking to him about him 6th, 7th man down the line. How's a guy who maybe should even be starting for the Bulls, definitely didn't start for FSU, and now he's not in the conversation when he's out on the floor. We have not seen that explosion out of him. We haven't, unless I'm wrong now, maybe I missed the game that he scored 30 in. Did he have one of those? a 25-pointer? Did he have?
You said it's a game he played 30 minutes in. He's played a couple.
I mean, have we seen the explosion? Have we seen I'm taking this over game? Have we seen any of that out of him? Because we saw a Kobe White explosion. We've seen a number of Zach LaVine explosions. You know, we might even see a Lauri Markkanen explosion get ready to come pretty soon. You don't see that. There's no way right now that you look at the Bulls or you look at Patrick Williams and go, oh, yeah, he's about to get his. Oh, it's all the cracking. No, you don't say that. He's an afterthought. You don't even think about him on the Bulls roster. You don't. You don't think about you talk about Zach LaVine, Kobe White, Thaddeus Young. You talk about Temple comes out now. You know, Otto Porter Jr. comes out. You got Archie coming out with the man bun on top of his head now, playing heavy minutes.
And Denzel and Chandler when he gets back.
Yes. I mean, you talk more about Denzel than you talk about Patrick Williams. I'm not saying it's a wasted pick at this point, but number 4 pick, and you don't talk about him yet. And we are 1/10 into the season right now.
Well, what I can say is this.
Yeah.
If you haven't subscribed and you're not listening to the sizzle, shame on you. Shame on you. It's shameful. Please go to the website. Go to whatever you do in your media. Go to YouTube. Go right there to Facebook. Go right there, Instagram. Go right there, and you even see us on Twitter. And you say, you know what? I'm going to subscribe. I'm going to like it. I'm going to share this. And that's what you do. You just subscribe, like, and then share. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's so amazing that if you do it, Patrick Williams will be a better player.
You know, look, man. Patrick Williams, I think he's a great kid. Mama Patrick Williams, you did a fine job raising his kid. Whoever else helped raise his kid, whoever stayed up at night, got up in the morning, getting him to the gym, whoever went out there was shooting jumpers with him, whoever did whatever, you guys did a fine job. Do not get me wrong. He's 19 years old, and he's starting in the NBA. I'm still waiting for it, though. I'm still waiting for it. I'm hoping that I see it. I'm hoping that I see that he has that little stain in his head that he put up there, and all of a sudden I see that at the top of the rim, and he's put his whole arm into the rim, and he's dunking on somebody, and he's riding their shoulders, and, you know, he's giving them the Scottie Pippen over Patrick Ewing dunk, and, you know, that. But I just don't think we're going to see that. I think we're just going to see him pass it out to Gatorade.
Well, again, if you haven't subscribed, liked, and shared, then you play like Patrick Williams. But if you have, you're an all-star like Zach LaVine. So, hey, you know how it goes.
Hey, let's ask a question. Let's ask a question right now. Can Zach LaVine crack into first and second team All-NBA this year?
Ooh, can he be a first or second teamer? Ooh. Good question. Because he couldn't be an all-star when the all-star game was in Chicago.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't make the all-star team when it was here. At this rate, can he play himself into an all-NBA player?
In the East?
In the East.
In the East, sure. He can do that.
We're going to wait and see. Keep doing your thing, Zach. Go down there and rub on Patrick Williams' lamp and see if the NBA Get Aggressive Genie will pop out and see if we can just get him the ball out. We need one of the Monstars to jump in there into Patrick Williams. That's what.
You know what? Let's talk about that next show. Let's talk about some amazing things that are getting ready to happen. Number one, Jay, did you know there's getting ready to be an inauguration? Yes, there's going to be a new president.
Dude, it looks like the scene getting ready to start of the invasion of Britain or something like that with as many troops as they got out there. Good Lord, have mercy.
Do you remember show V?
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like we're preparing for an alien invasion of some kind. This looks like I was watching. Is it World War Z? On the BBC, they have a new version.
Yeah.
This looks like there's an attack of some people coming, and we have to stop them. So we're going to talk about that. And you know what else we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about Space Jam 2, The New Legacy. Man. Yeah, trailer came out today.
I don't know.
Space Jam 2. Are you ready for LeBron with full head of hair?
They CG in his hair. He gonna have a fro. he gonna walk around with a Dr. J fro. You know what I'm saying?
J. Oh, and since we mentioned Dr. J, we can talk about other people. We can talk about children of children that we don't know if they are, but there's a possibility. It's been floated around some people who could be Wilt Chamberlain's child.
10,000 women. Look, Wilt Chamberlain said he betted 10,000 women. 10,000 women.
I think we know one of his kids.
He could have been Who's that? Which one?
Well, I'm almost sure Lionel Richie is Otto Porter's dad. I can't prove it, but
they do look alike. Speaking of kids, though, Dennis Rodman's daughter is a number 2 pick overall, and she could play. She could play.
Yeah. She's really good. And I heard your man Tiger had back surgery. What's up with that, bro?
Man, look, man, the greatest player of all time, but he has so much torque on his back when he was playing from a young age that his body now is just breaking down because that's an unnatural act to do over and over again. And as strong as he was and is, still making that movement like that, I'm surprised. At some point in time, he's just not going to be able to do it anymore. You know, he needs to go ahead and get in the booth and start talking in whispers around the 18th green, because that's where he's going to have to be. But he's got the youngin out there looking exactly like him, exact swing. So we'll see if he still has the L Tiger mentality, and we'll go out there and then if he does, maybe he can go help Patrick Williams out.
Oh, shots. Well, I know one thing we're going to talk about on the next episode. There are some other people that need to be helped out, and they're at Hallis Hall. So we've got to talk about that some more, because I talked about it a little bit in the chat, and we didn't get a chance to really get into it this episode, but we will next episode. I think I understand. I think I get it. I think I actually get it now.
What's going on in Hallis Hall?
I think I get it.
Oh, please, everyone come back for that, because you think I got my whole arsenal lined up for them, because I'm lining up on the wall, because right now there's some 21 gun saluting need to be going on, and we ain't talking about for the president.
Nope. We're going to figure out why Allen Robinson is subtweeting the Ravens. We're going to figure out why Mitchell Trubisky is in love with his tight end, and we're going to figure out what's going on with Virginia and her boys.
You know, it's ridiculous. Look, Hallis Hall is a mess. It's an absolute mess. It's an absolute mess up in Hallis Hall. Too many guys getting along up there. You need friction look. You gotta to sharpen something. You need something with some friction on there to make it sharp. I don't care how hard you rub 2 oranges together. All you're gonna do is make orange zest. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to cut a piece of paper by rubbing 2 oranges together. You got to have some friction in there to make iron sharpens iron. Who up there in Hallis Hall right now is the friction? There is no friction. They all like each other too much. This is my buddy. He's my pal. How you doing? Would you like me to put some tomatoes on your turkey sandwich? Fantabulous, thank you. Do you want some ranch dressing? No, I'm watching my waist. No, I don't want nobody up there watching their waistline. I want somebody eating everything. Salami, hot dogs, everything. He's got stains on his shirt, and he's going out there coaching his football to win. Coaching his football team to win. Let's go. This is ridiculous. Oh, I'm sorry. This ain't it. This ain't the show.
All right. Well, with that outburst, I'm going to say, this is, and you keep doing this. Big shout out to Big Tim and Iron Sharpens Iron. We follow you, Big Tim.
Yeah.
We know you're doing your thing in the D, putting it down for health, for men over 50 doing your thing. But, you've done this all show. Okay. First, it was explosions. Then you're talking about people erupting. Now you're rubbing people together. I'm just telling you, we're getting.
I've been playing hurt for a while. I'm not all the way back yet. I'm still raspy, but I'm able to actually make a full sentence now. Give it a couple of shows, and my voice is all the way back. And
baby.
Oh,
once the golden pipes get ready, they're gonna blow.
Because I'm waiting. Because I might be up here doing sign language, and it ain't the language I need to be doing. But hey, I can't wait. Look, I can't wait for next show. We talk about these Bears because this is sad. It absolutely is sad. There's no winning. There's no way to. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do now?
I know what you're gonna do. You're gonna go out. You're gonna like. You're gonna subscribe, and you're going to share the sizzle with everyone because you're going to go to Iron Skillet Sports. You know where you can find us at Iron Skillet Sports. You can find us at #skillet_sports.
You can.
And if you do it in your accent, it'll be even nicer. It'll be quite jolly and quite fine. #skillet_sports.
Yeah, and hit the subscribe button, please, people. I love you guys. I love all 600 of y'all out there that are in our chats on a regular basis. Go to YouTube and hit the subscribe button. Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
Subscribe.
Like button.
Subscribe.
Love you guys. Hit the subscribe button. But we're going to be here.
You don't subscribe.
We're going to be here. We're going to keep chopping it up, keep talking it, keep bringing it. We're going to be here. Hit the subscribe button.
You hit it.
Hit it. Now.
Right.
Go do it right now.
Do it now. Don't even look at it.
Because you talking about some bad mouthing? Well,
ooh, baby.
It's not going to be pretty.
Let me tell you something. I'm G Sizzle. He's J Sizzle.
Yes, sir.
You know what it is. We're the Sizzle, the hottest talk in the 219, the only talk that brings this talk to you every time you like it in the 219. We are the Sizzle. We are the talk of the 219. And baby, guess what? We'll see you on the other side.